Before we get this started, here. Hi, it's me again, here to talk about some news, some recent news. As you've all may have heard, Rockstar recently re-released a fan favorite game of theirs. This game came out in 2011, so it's a fairly old game. It's Red Dead Redemption, the first one. You know, and after that whole debacle regarding the GTA trilogy, you think they just stay their hand and keep out of remastering and re-releasing old games for a little while. But they waited a year and they went right back to it. And when we first saw leaks about it, the rumors were a remaster. What I was really hoping for was, you know, just a re-release or a release onto PC. But that doesn't seem like what Rockstar wants to do, because recently they announced Red Dead Redemption coming to the Nintendo Switch, and drumroll please, PlayStation 4. That's right, the PlayStation 4, the decade-old, outdated console, the PlayStation 4. The internet went crazy over this. And I could sit here all day and dunk on Rockstar, you know, and Take-Two and Strauss Zelnick. But this is really indicative of something way bigger than just Rockstar being very lazy and greedy. It has to do with the whole industry. It seems more and more lately there's more talk about, you know, laziness in the industry, bad practices, greediness from publishers and executives in the gaming industry. And I do believe that something serious is about to happen. With all the stuff going on recently, it feels like it's about to blow over and become a real serious issue. I'm over here now. We've seen a lot of policies being introduced by companies like Ubisoft, which are limiting the people who have purchased their games. You know, there was that whole debacle of this policy about inactive accounts on Ubisoft that would be deleted, and I can imagine someone who made a Ubisoft account and you know, bought a bunch of Ubisoft games, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people do, but sometimes I got to take a break from certain companies and certain games. I got real hard into Assassin's Creed for a few months, and then I quit, and I haven't played any Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or really any Ubisoft game in a few months now, and I couldn't imagine my account being deleted because I have a ton of Ubisoft games. As a matter of fact, I can count them. I have 34 Ubisoft games total, and that may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot to me, and I would be devastated if my account got wiped and all these games were gone from my library. And for the longest time, at least, you know, since purchases in games have moved to be more digital, developers and publishers have tried to sneak in little clauses and agreements. You know, everybody knows the end user license agreement, also known as a EULA, where if you really read into it, it basically states that you don't own the game and they can take it away whenever they want. Pretty much 100% of any game you buy nowadays is going to have one of these, and that's just not a good thing. Could you imagine buying a book, like a physical book, and reading it and putting it on your shelf, and a year later someone knocks on your door, barges into your house, and takes the book away because you haven't read it recently, and now you can't have it. It's gone. You have to go back to the bookstore and buy it again. That sounds ridiculous, but that's pretty much the type of policies that games are starting to have. If we can't accept that stuff for books, films, you know, any other type of media, then it shouldn't be accepted in video games either. Luckily, there hasn't actually been any real case of these policies being enacted and people getting their games revoked out of nowhere yet. Hi, this is me from the future. So apparently the Nintendo Wii shop shut down. So if you didn't have them downloaded onto your console, I guess you can no longer get them back. You have to buy them again physically. That sucks. I'm sweaty. This has been the hottest goddamn August ever. Bundling these agreements on top of unfinished buggy video game releases, which have become more and more prevalent recently, and you know, it would be disingenuous of me to say that, you know, games of the past, games of the older generations, PS2, PS1, GameCube, Nintendo, it would be disingenuous of me to say that these games never had bugs or issues or bad code or whatever. But it would also be disingenuous of me to say that it's gotten better, because all it takes is one look at the industry to see that it has gotten worse, and more modern releases have had so many more issues compared to older games. And the market that gets impacted the most is obviously, the PC market, because it's so much easier to build a game and optimize it for a standardized console that is 100% the same every single time than it is to optimize a game for something that is very modular and everybody has a slightly different version of the same computer. No two computers are going to be exactly the same. And I get that it can be difficult to optimize for that, but you should at least try. There are so many games releasing recently that rely on DSLR and DSLR, DLSS and FSR, upscaling, these upscaling techniques to hide the fact that they can barely run at anything above 1080p on even the most top of the line PCs. Games like, that, I've already forgotten the name of it. It's at the tip of my tongue. Cyberpunk was one of them, Star Wars, Jedi Survivor, Remnant 2, I still can't fucking remember its name. I just did that with my mind fucking game, the one.
I just move shit with my freaking mind!
I'll put it up if I find it. I can't fucking remember the name of that game. This kind of optimization issues are very unfortunate to see, and they do almost primarily affect the PC market, although sometimes they can bleed into the console market. But usually that's not an issue. Some companies do very well when releasing PC games or releasing PC ports. Call of Duty has always surprisingly been some of the most well-optimized PC games. Even the most low-end PC gaming computer can play, the most recent Call of Duty games, although on low settings, they run very well. But then you got the complete opposite end of the spectrum, like Rockstar, who are very inconsistent with their PC ports. Back in the day with Vice City 3, San Andreas, those GTA games, they weren't great, and definitely over time they've gotten worse because Rockstar doesn't really upkeep them at all, so they've fallen behind a lot. And then you got GTA 4, which even to this day, brings the most top-notch, high-spec PCs to their knees trying to run this game at max settings, anything above like fucking 1440p. But it seemed like they were getting better, Max Payne 3 ran very well, L.A. Noire was okay, and GTA 5 was immaculate. That PC release was immaculate. There were almost no major issues with that PC release. Then all of a sudden they pull 360 and Red Dead 2 is unplayable at launch. And it does feel like a lot of these issues in the market are coming to a head, and stuff's gonna start to boil over. I can't think of any other industry out there, any other media industry out there where so many mistakes and issues and bad practices are just swept under the rug, and ignored. And it's only a matter of time until someone who can do something about it will do something about it. And right now, even us, the average consumer can do something about it. We can just not buy these games. If you hear a game has bad optimization, or it's just not very good, or has a lot of bugs, don't buy it. I'm always an advocate of holding out until a game has a bunch of reviews out for it that you can look at and make your own properly informed decision. Rarely do I ever pre-order a game, and when I do, I usually know for a fact it's going to be good, like Half-Life Alyx. That game was very good. And with this most recent re-release of Red Dead Redemption, which they are charging near full fucking price for, I say put your money where your mouth is, and if you want this stuff to stop, you have to stop buying it. If you have a Nintendo Switch, if you have a PS4, just don't buy Red Dead Redemption. If you have a high-end PC, or not even just a mid-range PC, fucking emulate that game, bro. That game runs really good through XEMU. Just emulate it. And obviously, if you have an Xbox, congratulations, you win. Buy it on Amazon for $5 and stick it in there, and you got 4K right out the gate, man. Good job. Obviously, I have an Xbox, and I didn't even pay for my copy of Red Dead 2. I got that for free out of a box at a yard sale. Rockstar and other companies They do this because they know they can get away with it, and we need to show them that they can't. And the easiest way to show them that they can't get away with this is to not spend money on these things. That's really it. Yeah, this video made no sense. It was very all over the place. I spent 5 minutes trying to look up the name of that fucking game, and I still don't know it. The moral of the story is the gaming industry sucks. Gamers suck. We all suck. Rockstar sucks. I'm still gonna play these games, but yeah, they suck.